What's up?
What's going on?
What is going on? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're back.
Oh, yeah.
We are so back. How is everyone doing? I hope that you all had very wonderful holidays. As you can see, I have gotten fatter than I ever have been. And that will be changing soon. But you might also notice something behind us is like 1 million copies of the Shucked Oyster. That's how many proofs that we've had to get. But the Shucked Oyster is now available on DriveThruRPG as of today. So go check it out. If you guys missed the Kickstarter, you can now go and buy it at DriveThruRPG. And if you guys backed the Kickstarter, something that would absolutely help us like enormously is if you went to DriveThruRPG, it's in, the link is in the description, and write a review for us of the Shucked Oyster. That would really, really help. We've had a couple of goofy ones, which is great. We do love that, but we do want some serious reviews in there. People just tell us, you know, what you actually think about it, and that'll help us like a lot.
Yeah.
That'd be much appreciated. So we love you guys, and thank you so much. We do also have it available on Mixam, which we haven't really shared the links out there for that yet. Only in the locals. But Mixam, while we were waiting for proofs for DriveThruRPG, we wanted to see like what's their quality like, what's their process like. Their process is much better and much faster for getting your book going. And the physical print quality is also a little bit better, which is nice. However, they don't do PDF or ebook sales. So
Right.
it is more expensive basically to get it through Mixam. It's a little bit higher quality print, but it doesn't come with the PDF, unfortunately. So we will be sharing that out at some point. And that's about it. But we're back, guys.
Yeah.
We got 45 concurrent viewers right now. Awesome.
Hell
Let's see
yeah.
who's here and what people are saying. Remember to T-pose to assert dominance.
Always and forever.
Yeah. Excuse me. I do so every day at work. Good. I've missed the boys over the holidays.
Missed you.
We missed you too. We did a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And we're happy to be home. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Yep. I hope Santa was good to everyone. He certainly was. I got here 2 D20s. These are metal dice. One is from, I think it's like Rune Forged something, and then the other one was from the copper one was from an Etsy shop. They're both super nice.
Will not break if you
Will
drop
not
them.
break. The D4s are sharp, so I will not be dropping those. But they're nice. I like them a lot. They're very heavy. They won't chip like my other dice were. Good morning, people, and Happy New Year.
What's up, man?
Squat bench deadlift.
Hell
Good to
yeah.
see you. Missed us exactly. Same hype. Greetings from Canada. How's it going? Just saw Shucked Oyster was up on drive-thru for print on demand. That's exciting. Yeah. And if you did back the Shucked Oyster, we did send out the codes for the print on demand version of it like 2 weeks ago. So for the last 2 weeks, you know, we've been sorting out issues with that where people didn't get in their inbox or whatever. If you did not get your we got a super chat.
A small Christmas present for the boys.
Oh, thank you very
man.
much. We definitely appreciate it. But if you did back it and you haven't seen your code yet, go check your inbox. It's in there.
Right.
Check your promotions tab, check your spam tab, check everything. And then if you don't find it, message us on the Kickstarter and we'll get it sorted out for you after this. Bit by bit, I read more acts.
Yep.
Yeah. Howdy, boys. Hope you had a good Christmas, Christ's Mass, and New Year's. We did.
Yeah.
Got the CP 2020 core book on Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Dad.
What a
2020
great
is
dad.
awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's still in print.
Still in
so
print.
Don't be out there looking for it on eBay. Looks like Mythras for the new year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm very excited to get back to our Mythras game. That's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And I believe our Axe game will start up next week again. Which is going to be a lot of fun. Axe is so good.
Indeed.
Mythras is next.
Yeah,
Nice.
man.
Ahoy. How's
What's
it going?
happening, dude?
Good to see you. I'm juggling Mythras and Axe as well.
Good man.
Yeah. Two very, very good games that are very different. In that boat as well, good. Acts 2 is greater than Vatican 2. You heard it here first.
Big true.
Yeah.
Endorsed by Macrease himself.
My current campaign allegedly began as a West Marches, but immediately became Dungeon of the Week. I took over as DM over a year ago, and I certainly don't pretend it's one. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of West Marches discourse.
Yeah, we were watching YouTube videos and some DM advice videos, and this guy was like, well, when I was running a West Marches game, it was like this. And we both paused the video, and both of us were like, you have not run a fucking West March. Nobody... It's such horseshit. It's like that Diana of the Rose, last of her name,
Yes.
said at one point, yeah, if you're going to like run a West Marches like I did one time, I was like, you didn't fucking do that. You didn't fucking do that. Everybody needs to stop this horse shit.
Yeah.
We get it. You've heard of West Marches.
Right.
You've heard
I have
of it.
too.
There's a few people out there who have actually run one. Mm-hmm. Not very many. And you don't need to claim that you did when you most likely didn't. Initializing tpose.exe.
Yeah,
exerting
man.
dominance
Yeah,
in 3,
man.
2, 1. Exactly. Watch as everyone type in late and hover over the enter key for 60 seconds. Yeah. Oh, man. We got another
Hot
super
take, I
chat.
don't like 4s. I just rolled only 5.
D20 over 5 instead
Yeah.
of D4s. Yeah. D4s
I hate D4s.
fucking suck. I do like it when people have made like the long rectangular D4s much better. Much like the bullet D6 that we got from that con.
Yep.
Way better. I hate the little pyramid.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
Oh.
Lots of chat. Okay. Happy New Year. Seems that BLG is starting off the new year nice and late. Yep. Would you want it any other way? Malachi, good to see you, man.
What's up?
Got our admin in the house. A few things never change.
That's
Yep.
right.
New year, same BLG. Correct.
Only bigger and better.
Only bigger and better. And we'll be branching out. We'll be talking a little bit about that too.
Indeed. Indeed.
Doom Pope. Yeah.
Yep.
Night Danger. Good to see ya. You'd think that would be in their New Year's resolution to be on time.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Starting late is the Christmas gift to themselves. Yeah.
Yes.
I've got to order my print on demand. Nice. Yeah. And here's the thing. We found out the soft covers print and deliver very quickly. The hard covers take longer.
Yeah.
Like Diversity and Dragons posted on Twitter a couple days ago. He's like, got my shucked oyster already. And I was like, what the fuck? It took like the last time we ordered prints took 30 days.
Ridiculous.
30 days. It was ridiculous. They like being late. Yeah. Nice shirt, Mateo. Yeah. Well, running out of laundry because back from traveling. Look forward to my oyster coming in the mail before I review.
man.
Nice. If you backed Modern Necessities, that is
true.
available
That's
now
true.
too. Yeah.
Yep.
Order both and save on shipping. Yes.
Ah.
I got
call.
I have that. That's the notification in my. Oh, I got another one.
That guy played West Marches games as much as he's had sex with his wife. But his wife's BF has run a lot of West Marches games.
Thank you, Matthew. And I like that you don't even need to know who it was that said that.
'Cause we all have the same image
Right.
in our mind.
Yeah. But yeah, the Modern Necessities, I did get, I have my print on demand code waiting for me to order that, which I'm very excited for.
Yep.
It is gorgeous. If you guys have seen the PDF on that, Vic spared no expense at the art. It is so good. It's like all original stuff. One of his artists, I mean, all of his artists are great, but there's one in particular that is so good. And he's posting a lot of stuff because he's working on the stretch goal content for like single action, like the Western version. And
Right.
There's I can't remember the name. Can't remember the name of the cyberpunk one. But he's got a bunch of art for those as well from the same artist, and it's fucking awesome. Evening, boys. I'm officially gone. The Mythras addiction arc, nice. And the Middle Earth has never felt more dangerous. Slay Kings, and I hope you continue your Mythras playthrough.
We will.
Yeah, we're gonna fire that back up. We'll see where we go with that in the next section. But that will come back. The problem is, like we said on the live stream about it before it released, nobody watches those. And that was
Right.
unfortunately evidenced by the numbers that came in on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm on my third proof, but we got a shitload of comments on that saying it was fucking awesome. Like the people who watched it really watched it, which was cool.
Yeah. I think we should
Definitely
proceed with it.
continue.
Yeah.
I'm on my third proof for my book. Don't matter how many times you go through it, you'll always find something wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like we knew there's like one or two typos.
And the
that I
discrepancies
found.
were like different
Yeah,
for each
for each one.
proof.
And which was irritating because we fixed like the bleed issues and then we got a copy back where the bleed issues are fine, but like the page numbers were right at the bottom of the page. So it's like they cut. They don't
Right
always cut
there.
the pages right.
Sucks.
Yeah.
What's happening, man?
Happy New Year. Hey,
Bacon
howdy.
gaming.
Grognard Nightmares, Jim Zenith. Oh, Jim Zenith. I think I know who this is. This is a long time YouTube friend. T. Yeah. I think I ordered both separately and got to pay more. No. Yeah. I drove to Kansas and back for Christmas, so I knew the struggle. Yeah. Entered the stream with imperfect courage. Watched Twin Peaks over the holidays for the first time.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
nice. Did you watch all of it? Let us know. Did you watch seasons 1 and 2, followed by Firewalk with Me, followed by waiting 25 years, and then watching season 3? Metal dice make for more compliant players. Glad you took a break. Others didn't, but it's the right time to do so. Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
thing. I mean, like we also like the last week that we were here, like before Christmas, like we could have streamed, but we were like, we don't have anything to talk about right now, and we're really tired.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
My ear trumpet has been struck
That's
by
the
lightning.
entire-
Oh, that's the entire name. Okay. Okay. Greetings from South Korea.
Oh, wow.
The good Korea.
Yeah.
Jonathan Pritchard in the house.
Runeslinger. Next door neighbors,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
Before I go into the Middle Earth, though, I'm making a campaign set during Mythic Britain. Nice. The Celtic gods have commanded the clans to unite to fight off a Roman invasion.
Yep.
Nice. Inkgrave says, hey, BLG, Merry Christmas. What dice system would you use if you could not use D100? Keep up the excellent work. Probably a dice pool of some kind.
Dice pool or...
Yeah.
I love
Kinda
the
depends.
2d8.
Oh, yeah. 2d8 from Within the Ring of
Within
Fire.
the Ring of Fire, yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. Please don't abbreviate Cyberpunk, yeah. Oh, it won't let me scroll. Come on, you fuck.
There we go.
Welcome back to the groove.
Thanks,
Yep.
man. Happy to be back.
Referring to Cyberpunk as CP is very funny, yeah. Yep, and a bunch of the supplements for Cyberpunk 2020 are still in print. I have a local game shop that keeps them stocked.
Oh,
That's
nice.
awesome.
That is cool. Because I
I'm watching the movie this weekend and then 25 years.
There you go.
Nice. Good.
Good man.
Yeah. Firewalk with Me is my favorite thing that Lynch has done. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I agree. Mulholland Drive.
It's
I
also
really like
good.
Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
I really like Blue Velvet. But Firewalk with Me is
The only Lynch one that I have seen that I don't like was
Inland Empire.
Inland Empire.
Yeah, I agree. Although
And I need
do,
to see it again.
I need to see it again.
And I need to see it with the subtitles properly. I got the Terminator RPG for Christmas. No
Oh, wow.
idea how good it is yet, but the opening is good. Nice.
Cool. I'm not sure what system that uses.
It
I didn't know
does
there-
feel good to be back.
Oh yeah,
Cyberpunk 2020 is awesome.
it is.
Let me repeat, do not abbreviate Cyberpunk. Get that on the Kickstarter. I was hoping to convert to Delta Green.
Interesting.
Grognard, of course, has run a West Marches game. That makes sense, though,
Yep.
because Grognard has run everything.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares about West March when the East March is where we at?
That's right.
Chessex makes D12s with 1 to 4 on them as Roman numerals. I actually don't like Roman numerals. Just give me numbers. Finally-
American numbers.
Yeah, American numbers only. Finally organizing the now combined stack of my books with my dad's stack of books and setting up a catalog document so we can keep track of what we have. You must have a lot
Nice.
of books. What if they only had like 6? I tried getting the barrel D4, but I still don't feel they roll very well. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with those is that they take forever to resolve as
Right.
well.
Greetings from North Korea.
Thank you, Buckwhack.
Thank you.
D4s are for improvised caltrops. Yeah.
Yep.
Which means that for the first time in weeks, I can actually catch this live. Nice.
Hell yeah, man.
In order to run West Marches, you need a lot of people to make it work. If you have the same crew, might as well run a standard D&D
Yeah.
game. Correct.
It's also why I don't want to
Don't
run
want
a
to
West
do
Marches
a West
game.
Marches game. Yeah. Caltrops. Yep.
Yep.
Everyone's saying the same thing. Still waiting on a hardcover print on demand I ordered in November. You have to wait 60 days to make a claim on DriveThruRPG. Oh my gosh. Oof.
Great website. Excellent
It's
website.
not pink, it's lightish red. All right, we're not going to no gaslighting us about the colors again. Speaking of Mythras, I have added RuneQuest to
Oh,
my
hell
RPG
yeah.
collection. Awesome.
Yep. I really want to run a RuneQuest game
Yeah.
in 2025. But again, as with so many other things, it's time and people.
Right. Maybe we can recruit my neighbors.
I think it would break their minds, though.
That might be good.
It might be. They have to stop what they're doing. We have to
Right.
be the ones to stop them.
Goodman Games, Zoki
Greetings
Dice.
from Rulia.
Greetings from
From
where?
Ryla.
Ryla, yeah. Gonna need some advice about hospitals, layout and stuff. Have ideas of how the Braunstein would go, but like I don't know if there would be enough material for 1-to-1 time.
Hospitals.
Because he
layout.
was thinking about doing like a Braunstein vampire game at night.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to worry about 1-to-1. 1-to-1 typically is when you're between sessions, not when you're during sessions.
Yeah, there's basically no downtime in
Yeah.
Vampire because you're a corpse
Yeah.
during downtime.
Yeah.
It's all taken care of you
Right.
for you.
Yeah. I already bought RuneQuest. Nice.
Hell yeah.
If the Pyramid D4 was good enough for George Washington, it's good enough for me. Yeah. they're hard to pick up.
That's
I
the
fucking
thing I
it.
hate the most
Yeah.
about it. It's hard to pick up.
And you have to kind of like flip it. Otherwise, you're just like, let me place this down. You know. Does Mythras and RuneQuest overlap in setting and genre?
Genre for sure. Setting, no. Because Mythras has just an implied Bronze Age sword and sorcery setting. None of it is explicit, though. But
It's not nearly as magic heavy, though. There's a lot of magic in Mythras, but it's not
Yeah.
to the level of RuneQuest.
well,
At least that's my understanding.
I would say they're comparable.
Really?
Yeah, because the thing is, and obviously you could run Glorantha with Mythras because Mythras was initially RuneQuest 6.
Right.
The thing is, you would need to do some work in Mythras to assign certain deities and their cults particular spells. And of course, with Mythras not being tied to Glorantha anymore, some of the I guess classic or iconic, mainly what would be rune spells in Glorantha and in RuneQuest just don't exist.
Right.
But the setup I think works basically perfectly.
Got a Luther Arkwright
Nice.
RPG, Mythras, waiting in the Amazon locker. Nice. Oh, we had also planned to get the Shucked Oyster on Amazon for print on demand, but they don't do A5 printing in the United States through KDP.
Which is insane.
Fucking insane and stupid. I believe just rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Goodman Zoki D4s have 8 sides, but can only land on 4 of them, with the numbers displaying on the other 4. It's weird.
Those are the dice that Spencer showed us. Or one set of dice that Spencer showed us.
He showed us several.
That's true.
Yeah. There's a strange patient, the operation, weird stuff, coworkers, overworked staff, and I'm guessing players being tired would help with the immersion. Having to do sleep shifts seems immersive. Yeah.
Is this in regards to like hospitals?
I think, yeah. You're right. I was the Jesus. He was Jim Jesus long ago. So I found several different versions of Fire Walk with Me. There's a 4-hour version and a 2-hour version. Can I get by with the 2-hour, or do I have to watch the long one? I haven't seen the 4-hour one. I've only seen the theatrical cut. There is a cut where people have reassembled some stuff that was cut out with
clips.
Jeffries, what's his name?
Philip Jeffries.
That apparently adds like more context to it. But I don't know. Oh, geez. 20
Hey
bucks.
guys, Happy New Year. Excited to see what you guys got cooking for this year.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. $20. Very
We're excited
generous.
to bring it to you.
Yeah.
2025 is going to be awesome.
Yeah. And we got this one. A5 printing, more like gay 5 printing. Amazon, probably. Yeah.
That's exactly what they said.
Back to work. Have a good one, man.
Take it easy, man.
I picked up Lone Wolf Fists on a lark, and I really like
nice.
the D10 system.
Yeah,
it
it's
uses.
cool.
Yeah. Well, I hope that you also checked out
Acid and Steel?
Acid and Steel, the first source book that was just kickstarted. And if not, you should go check out Joel Clark on Twitter and go find his Kickstarter and see if you can still back it.
I got mine. I don't have mine, but the payment went through.
Right. Yeah. I've watched a bunch of RuneQuest review videos, and it seems like a really deep setting, but super crunchy rules.
I've watched a lot of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the RuneQuest rule system is... It's not that it's complex. It's... Some of the skill categories seem needlessly arbitrary and needlessly convoluted in how, like during character creation, certain skill points are assigned and how they're assigned, divided up in like these are the communication skills. These are. It makes sense. I get the logic behind it. I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
If I was running a game in Glorantha, I would use the Mythras system, and I just add on the runic affinities.
Yeah.
And you need the runic affinities from RuneQuest, in my opinion, if you really want to play in that world, because it's important for your character's inner life.
Best Lynch is wild at heart, but only truly love-pilled optimism maxers can understand this. I haven't seen Wild at Heart yet. I'll be seeing Nosferatu on the weekend from the same director as Vivitch. Yeah.
I saw it twice.
I have only seen it 0 times.
Yep, so I'm refraining from giving my opinion.
Yeah. Poisoning my... Excuse me. I like the Cyberpunk red setting, but the rules suck hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the the net running rules are preferable to what's in 2020. And I vastly prefer Red's life path system.
Yeah. Nosferatu was fantastic. I expect nothing less. I like Eggers. By the way, everyone hated the West Marches game and voted to kill it.
Yeah.
Kenzer and Co. made power D4s a few years ago, which were 8-sided D4s. Yeah.
Which that seems like the easier way to do it. Roll a D4, divide by 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you could literally just put...
You could
1
put
through 4
anything.
twice on it.
Yeah.
Like, West Marches is only good for very specific situations. Works best if you have multiple DMs. Yeah.
That seems right to me. Oh, what's going on,
Broken
dude?
Blade in the house. Good to see you, man. Mayor McCheese as well. Abbreviating Cyberpunk isn't as funny as abbreviating closed beta testing. CBT? CBT, cognitive behavior therapy? I don't know what the... I don't know. I did not see Nosferatu yet, so any inspiration for Cults of Zahak? That will be interesting. The Witch had some serious inspiration.
The Witch for sure.
Yeah. Serious inspiration for Colts. How about this? Breast Marches campaign. GM does full male to female transition for the campaign. Yeah, okay, we could try it.
The next trending game.
Yeah. All the cool kids are running West Bronstein marches these days. That's true.
I don't know how many of them are cool though.
You're playing the people in the hospital. You're not playing vampires, unless I should rethink the thing. No, that'd be cool. Dude, World of Darkness Mortals games are awesome.
Oh, it's great.
They're so fucking good. So definitely, I think that's the right instinct.
Yeah.
Be the people in the hospital in the
Yeah.
supernatural horror show, you know? Mm-hmm. I was hoping for a Bronstein inside a hospital with different departments fighting over resources, etc. Yeah. Or a breathing automatic teller machine. An ATM machine, you mean? It's that plus weird shit happening plus strange patient being operated on. Yes.
I see.
Do that. Does happen overnight. Yeah, definitely do that. That sounds cool as fuck. Mm-hmm. The longer version with both the original Firewalk with Me and the missing pieces is superior. I can give you a torrent if you want, since it's a fan edit. I don't know, maybe.
I would just watch Firewalk with Me, the one you can get everywhere first.
Yeah.
And then-
yeah, just watch the theatrical cut first, and then watch a bunch of videos on YouTube about it.
Right.
No metric printing for Americans.
Damn right.
Yeah.
What's
Good
going
to
on,
see
man?
you, Max. Happy New Year, everyone. Rolled up my first Mythras character on
hell
New
yeah.
Year's Eve. Really great experience. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a 4-hour cut of Firewalk with Me. Yeah.
I still haven't seen it either.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah, man.
Did some internet research and couldn't find much on it, so I have no idea if it's a slap chop edit of cutting room floor materials or not. Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's go see Nosferatu. I will definitely go see it. Can't wait for your Sabbat
that's coming.
video. That is coming, but we were set towards the end of the month, or end of
Last month.
last month, end of whenever we were working during the last month, before we went into Christmas mode. We were like, yeah, we're gonna do the Sabbat video this week, but then a different idea came up
Right.
that we're working on right now. That's gonna be very cool, and it's gonna be a little different. We'll talk about that
Yep.
in a bit.
Yep.
So the Sabbat video is on hold again. Lukewarm
But it
on
will be coming.
Eggers. Lukewarm on Eggers. How so?
Oh.
But you got to respect the chops. The boy's got style. He definitely does. He makes great movies.
I love his movies.
Yeah.
As
This is what Kenzer did. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
repeated that. Everything.
The Lighthouse is still by far my favorite.
Yeah. People saying do not search for CBT. All right. Instead of a dungeon crawl, let's have a bar crawl. Ooh. Nobody tell him what it is. Okay, well, I'm not going to look it up. So, Nosferatu was great. Give it a chance, Ginger Fraser. I definitely will. I'm not just giving it a chance. I'm expecting to like it. Am I the only one who liked how V5 handled Thin Bloods?
I love how V5 handled the Thin Bloods. It made them actually interesting. And the way Thin Bloods were treated in the Sabbat book is excellent. I won't say more yet, but maybe we'll touch on it in the Sabbat video.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I'm a huge fan of how the Thin Bloods are portrayed in V5.
Military sim-style games like Starship Troopers, Robotech, MechWarrior, Recon, and World War I and II RPG always seem to be assumed that it loses steam over time. How would you suggest to keep the interest?
I don't think
I've never played a military sim game.
I haven't either, and I haven't heard that. I haven't really heard any real opinions. My assumption would be, and this is a problem with like a mission-based structure approach of you're essentially doing Dungeon of the Week, but it's Mission of the Week or Deployment of the Week.
Yeah.
And that, I think, can get boring pretty quickly. So I would just, again, as with anything, focus on the characters. Depending on where they are in the military hierarchy is going to determine how much they know or have agency with regard to like the larger offensive or larger war. But in a war, it's the consequences of actions are immediate and palpably threatening, right? So lean into that to keep things going.
Why does Werewolf suck? Because I know you guys hate it.
I just don't. First of all, vampires are cooler than werewolves.
Way fucking cooler.
And Werewolf the Apocalypse, to me, it's too many themes. It's too many ideas. and they don't
It's too
work
many
together.
dumb ideas.
It's too many dumb ideas. It's possible to have taken any one of those ideas and make it better. And I don't know anything about Werewolf the Forsaken. I don't care.
Yeah. It's
It's just not interesting.
Yeah, it's not interesting to me. Werewolves are not interesting to me. Like, vampires are cool as fuck. They're in a million great movies. There's like 4 good werewolf movies.
I don't know of any. Well,
Operation Metal Beast, Dog Soldiers. There's 2 good werewolf movies. And Operation Metal Beast is stupid as fuck, but that's
Don't know
why I
what
love
it is.
Yeah, I'll show you some clips from it. It's pretty great. I put it. All right, I don't know what that means. Is Eggers a slur or something? No. Robert Eggers is his name. The Lighthouse, then Nosferatu, then The Witch, and then The Northman. I like them all. Interesting. So Lighthouse, yeah, is
this is in order of,
of probably preference.
Interesting. Well, I would say, without including Nosferatu, Lighthouse, Witch, Northman for me.
Yes.
And that's not to say that I am lukewarm on the Northman.
No,
I love the Northman.
Northman.
Mages or demons are cooler.
I personally think World of Darkness mages or demons are cooler. But which World of Darkness?
Mage, the idea of mage, or of mages as a creature type is very cool. I hate I don't even remember what the name of the war is. Is it the Ascension War? I don't know. But the traditions versus the technocracy, I hate it. I think it's so dumb. I hate the technocracy as an idea. It just doesn't fit with what a game about wizards.
Someday we're all Forsaken game for Yoga Sanda guaranteed will be good think gang politics mixed with tribal politics and horrifying animistic spirituality.
Okay, I don't
Why is
understand
there
why you use the underscores.
Interesting.
Yeah. Thank you for the $10.
Thank you, man. I'm happy to play in a.
Yeah. I'm not. It's not a game that I want to.
It just didn't interest me.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's the first word in any of the World of Darkness lines. Vampires, cool. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Werewolf, nope.
But don't care.
Mage, I'm interested and didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm never reading the Mage 20 book. I don't care.
No.
It's gigantic.
It's too big. Making a decent game that does what World of Darkness does without all the baggage and the very specific things of the time is in the bucket list. Go for it, man.
Yeah.
I can't post the kind of link here, but just check the usual torrent sites for. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're not going to promote piracy here. Werewolves are way cooler than vampires.
American Werewolf in London. That is a good movie.
Is it though? Is it actually a
I
good
remember
movie?
liking it. I haven't seen it in like 15 years.
I remember liking the werewolf transformation.
Yeah. Well, that is true. That's really the most of what
Yeah.
I remember.
The rest of the movie fucking sucks.
All right, fair enough. You've convinced me.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't, the fact that I don't really remember it.
The Howling I have not seen.
Don't know what that is.
Don't know, don't care. No.
Yeah.
Werewolf the Apocalypse was fun if you play straight up murder hobos.
But that's not fun because a murder hobo is a character. It's playing a character in which you're aggressively not trying to role play.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay, so werewolves are not cooler than vampires. This is just silliness. Like,
Yeah.
Werewolves, you're playing a dog. First of all, you're playing a dog. Second of all, you're fighting on the side of Gaia. It should be called Werewolf the Longhousening or something. You know, like
How do you feel about a tactical game that gives players only 60 seconds to declare their actions on a turn?
a tactical game that gives players only 60 seconds. If I think I would want to kill myself if people were taking 60 seconds to declare an action.
Yeah, it should not take you 60
Yeah,
seconds.
it should not take you 60 seconds.
And like having like
But I'm also not super into tactical games, so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So we might not be the best people to ask
Yeah.
on that.
It is possible for someone out there to put over the werewolf myth in a way which is cool, which I would be excited in. And I would love that. You know, I would love something that is good and gets me interested. I just haven't seen it. And I don't care enough about werewolves
Because
as
it's
a
not
monster
possible.
type. Yeah. Like werewolves suck like in everything. There's not many movies. Both of the World of Darkness, Chronicles of Darkness. Werewolf is not interesting to me.
No.
They're never fun to play in video games either.
Yeah.
You know, it's way more fun to play a vampire in Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah.
You know?
Has anyone ever made a serial number filed off game like VTM? I'm curious. Yes.
Yeah. Onyx Path just did that again.
Yeah, Onyx Path just did it again. Yeah. But there's After the Vampire Wars, which is a design mechanism Mythras product.
Yep.
I have not read that, so I don't know
haven't
anything about
either.
it, but I assume it's probably pretty cool. Mark Ryan-Hagen, I think, is working on another vampire game.
Is he really?
I think so. I could be wrong on that. And there's a couple of other vampire RPGs out there as well. I'm not sure that any of them are going to be as good as Vampire the Masquerade, though.
I just don't think it can be topped.
I don't think so either. The Howling is good. All right. I'll have to watch it. Dog Soldiers is one of the best werewolf movies. Correct. And I do like Dog Soldiers, but if it's one of the best out of 2 movies, maybe 3. No love for Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I always saw the Wolfman. I was like, this is dumb.
Right.
And what about the Benicio del Toro Wolfman movie? I liked the first 3 Underworld movies. I am not an Underworld enjoyer.
I liked the first Underworld movie. I didn't like any of the other ones.
Kate Beckinsale looked amazing
I know.
in with that pleather suit or whatever the fuck it was. But it was...
It's a dumb movie. It's a dumb...
It's what everyone played. It was the most Vampire the Masquerade movie that you could make, basically.
Yeah.
So much so that
It's
they
a
got
great
sued.
movie rendition of that way of playing
Yes.
vampire.
Which is the wrong way.
But the getting
Ginger
lost in the
snatch.
weeds of the werewolves versus vampires it's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's like
Haven't
don't-
we made
they
a
don't
compelling
need to be-
argument? Vampires are cool and werewolves aren't. That's
Right.
basically all we've said.
I mean, what else needs to be said?
I don't know what else would need to be said.
Yeah.
Embarrassingly, being in RPGs for over 30 years and until now, I have only heard of Westmarch's campaign in the context of the section of the Galaxy and Traveler.
Well, you're not missing much.
Werewolves work better alone. A pack always comes off a little fast and furious. Yeah.
That is a good point. It's like, what do they say in Are they the family? My family. Right? Vin Diesel's character.
Yeah.
It's all about
It's
the
about
family.
family.
The pack.
Yeah. My ranking for the White
lame.
Wolf series is Vampire, Mage, Scion, Changeling, Werewolf, and Demon.
I love Changeling.
I played Scion a little. I didn't like it.
Did not play Scion. And that is after getting Scion.
Fast and furious.
Onyx. The only thing Onyx Path ever gave me was the Pathfinder 1E Scion book, because literally nobody was buying it.
Mr. Max says,
And I never played it.
Buckwack, is your space bar broken? Yes. Yeah, Wraith,
Wraith
is
is-
fucking amazing. I love Wraith. Mr. Max likes werewolves because they are hairy. He likes them hairy. No, he likes them because they're eco-terrorists. He said that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked Mage, but it was more of a game for pseudo-philosophers than people who want to play wizards and sorcerers.
Right, just like the creators.
Yeah. Vampires are gay. There it's been said. Wrong. I'm sorry I brought up werewolf. Yeah, somebody ban him. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to play murder hobos, D&D is a much better game than World of Darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Werewolves need to be completely reworked in flavor to be put on par with vampires, although vampires also need to be de-gayified in some capacity. This, I don't know where this vampires are gay thing has come from. Maybe it's from a little bit of the Anne Rice stuff. Maybe it's from some recent show or movie. But go watch, like, what's the Catherine Bigelow movie?
I have no idea.
Oh my God, why can't I think it? Bill Paxton is in it and Lance Henriksen, and they're the vampires in a Winnebago driving around the Southwest causing a bunch of mayhem. It's not gay.
No.
There's nothing gay about that. It's pretty straight if you ask me. No need to self-censor. I won't ban you for that. Okay. Can you play a murder hobo and Vampire the Masquerade without being a cringe lord?
Not without being a cringe lord, no.
Not possible. There's got to be more good werewolf movies out there than Wolfman, An American Werewolf in London, and Dog Soldiers. There's not. There isn't. Everyone says Forsaken's better than Apocalypse, but I just don't.
I don't care. This is also the thing. It's like a vampire still has like a will and a human intellect.
Yeah.
Right? The whole point of a werewolf is that you become an animal.
Right.
Very powerful, very physically dominant, but that's what the werewolf archetype or the werewolf monster, the werewolf myth is supposed to be. And so it's kind of hard from my standpoint to imagine a compelling character, because to have a character almost defeats the point of what a werewolf
is. It's about, it's about losing being
right.
The element of man is
even
gone,
Dracula,
the animal,
or Nosferatu.
Right.
And especially the initial Nosferatu, it's the way Orlok is put over. It's not Bela Lugosi. It's not, it's like a demon, but it's a predator.
Right.
It's a thing that is not seducing you, but it's ensorceling you, and it's luring you, and it's feeding on you. What's that?
If you're a chick, it's definitely seducing you.
Yeah. Well, he's sending you Mondopolis dreams.
Yeah.
That confound you, cause you to sleepwalk, and
And if you're wondering who Mondopolis is, you got to buy the shucked oyster to find out. What is the elevator pitch to get my players into VTM? You could, if you want to lie to your players, just say that you're doing a modern horror game where you're all playing humans. Have them make human characters, and then one by one they get embraced, and now you're playing vampire.
Yeah. Or, as we said in the video, it's Vampire Sopranos.
Yeah, Vampire Sopranos.
If you want to play vampiric mobsters at night, there you go.
I never saw Brotherhood of the Wolf, but I've heard that's good. That's that French movie.
Haven't seen it.
Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
Haven't seen it.
I've seen pieces of it. My spacebar has barely worked for a couple of months, and it's getting worse. I feel like an impotent child anytime I try to type. Oh my God.
Damn,
Get a
man.
keyboard, dude. Brotherhood of the Wolf is not a werewolf movie, though. All right. Let me rephrase. Is 60 seconds enough to keep the normies out? Maybe.
I mean, that is true. Normies would hate any kind of restriction. I do like the idea of torturing your players, putting a gaming hourglass, berating them if they take too long. But you shouldn't. The juice is not worth the squeeze for that.
Mummy sounds interesting to play. No Promethean or Mummy love. Yeah.
I love Promethean. So Chronicles of Darkness.
Yeah.
Promethean is excellent. It's my favorite of the Chronicles lines. Changeling the Lost, excellent. And Demon the Descent is really cool and truly unique.
Near Dark is the movie I was thinking of. 30 Days of Night was also excellent.
Yep.
Near Dark. Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn is okay. Vampires do not sparkle, correct?
True.
All this talk about vampire movie makes me want to watch From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dundermoose, what's
Dundermoose
up?
is here, I guess.
The boys are back in town.
Oh yeah, there he is, and we are. Like I know there are versions of vampires that are not gay, but there's too many versions that are either very gay or kind of gay that they have been infused into the popular psyche. Definitely started with Anne Rice.
It did start with Anne Rice.
That is 100% true. Ginger Snaps is a somewhat good werewolf movie. That's what that's what Max was saying earlier. Near Dark. Dark Backwards is another Bill Paxton movie. Yeah. Watch Curse of the Wolf and get back to me, Vamp Cells. The vampire is just evil. The werewolf wishes he were not, but is powerless to contain it. Rage, alcoholism, straight sin nature. That's why the vampire is cool, though.
Yeah, that's why the vampire is cool. It's
He
also
is evil
not
by his nature. He is anti-man, anti-life.
right. And also, to me, that would also be the case with a werewolf too. Even if you don't want to lose control, you're cursed.
Right.
You're infected with lycanthropy, if you want to go that route, or
Right.
you're. I actually don't even know how. What the reasoning is in the Wolfman, but if you're becoming just a feral beast, you can't do anything. Just like you can't really roleplay the character in VTM when you're in a frenzy, which is fine. The whole thing is that's a danger, that's a risk,
Right.
for you and the masquerade. That doesn't change the fact that you have a kind of evil, cursed will at this point to and motivations and goals. You can act like a person, a predatory person, but like you couldn't play the game. Vampire wouldn't work if the default state every time you woke up you were in a frenzy.
Right. Vampires shouldn't have internal struggle. They should embrace their nature. Werewolves is all about the internal struggle. World of Darkness got it backwards. That may be correct. I'll have to think about that one.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to it. I don't know if it has to be that way, but
yeah. I'm gonna have to think about that one. So how are we asserting dominance in 2025?
many ways.
Many ways.
This, of course, being the first.
Yeah, the first way.
And we want to talk about the video, or
yeah, why not? So we've got we've been thinking about a lot about like what we want to do content wise for the channel, and like obviously like role playing games are the mainstay for us, but we like I said, we were starting to work on the Sabbat video, but I'd been watching all of these videos pop up in my feed from the video game God of War, the newer ones, the 2018 and God of War Ragnarok,
right?
And there's this entire like sea of midwit content out there about God of War, the new God of War games, and how there's so not only
Such
cinematic,
a deep story.
it's a deep story with these incredible characters.
And it's a positive story.
Yeah, and it's a positive story. And we were sitting there like, this is the dumbest interpretation of this that you could possibly have.
Right. It couldn't be further from the truth.
And it couldn't be further from the truth. And we talked about it for like 2 hours probably. And we're just like, we have to make a video about this. And
yeah.
So we're going to kind of start branching out into more video games every once in a while, like video game commentary. Again, not necessarily strictly culture war stuff.
Because this is the thing. It's like we mention the culture war. Yes, we are not and have never intended to be a culture war channel.
We're not doing,
because commenting on the culture war 99 times out of 100 is lame, and it's all been said before.
Right.
There are no bystanders on the culture war.
Right.
Everybody knows what the situation is, what the landscape looks like, and you believe one thing or you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
And it comes up. Like, there's always going to be
It
time.
comes up, but it's being a culture channel,
Yes.
not
Being
a culture
war channel.
channel.
So this is going to be kind of our first test run on this to see if it works, because this, like I said, it's an entire genre. There's an entire channels just dedicated
To this
to talking
stuff.
about God of War
Oh
characters.
yeah, yeah.
Like, it's really insane, and all of the takes are so bad.
Mm.
And we have, I think, a pretty unique perspective on it. And it's not going to be like, oh, they put a black Viking in, you know, which they did do and is
Yeah.
cringe. But there's like a kind of a deeper
It's much
level
worse
of analysis.
than that.
It's much worse than that.
Right.
And we kind of want to talk about those things. So the same way that we talk about problems in some RPG games and stuff, we in the industry, we're going to try and branch out to do some stuff with video games and potentially movies as well.
Right, because this has been the core, at least as I see it, from the beginning. You know, it is part of the no apologies, no compromises mission from God, mission
Right.
statement. There are things, there are values, there are fundamentals, there are experiences, activities that are unique to different mediums. And there are things in each medium which are objectively inherently good or resonant, and there are others which are not. And most of the commentary, whether it's about role-playing games or movies or video games or anything else, it's either sycophantic, vapid praise, or it's look what they're doing now.
Yeah.
You know, as if we haven't, you know, look what the left is doing now. You know,
Right.
as if we don't know, if we don't know, and as if that horse hasn't been beaten to a pulp 10 years ago already.
Right.
At this point. Most people are missing the point. It's not even the point. They're missing a higher resolution like framing of these things, and missing these more interesting and more insightful observations, perspectives, recognitions, and those things have always been what is most interesting to me about what we're doing on the channel.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and it's like we said about, you know, making something or being creative. You want to start a YouTube channel or make a movie or write a book. It's like, be passionate about something.
Right.
And so it's more than just the trappings, or like you said, the black Viking or the female protagonist or
Right.
what have you. And there's things to be said there, but they're not said, or they're said so crudely that you may as well have said nothing at all.
Right. Yeah, so we've got that. We're gonna do some experimentation with some of our videos. Obviously, the main focus is still going to be role playing games, because
Of course.
that's the thing we are most interested in.
Yes. That's the thing which is the worst off
I know.
than anywhere else.
But there's things that we want to talk about that are not directly related to RPGs.
And honestly, there are things, there are opinions or thoughts we've had about role-playing games, in which there like is a through line, but it's so much easier to talk about them through an example
Yeah.
of a particular movie or a video game, for one reason or another.
Right.
But we don't want to feel like and of course we have movie clips and TV show clips.
In all of our
but
videos, yeah.
It's just like these are things which are interesting to us. These both deeper and broader points. I don't want us to feel constrained, like, well, this isn't directly applicable, palpably in a specific role-playing game system or a particular RPG setting, right?
Yeah.
But it's still a point. It's still something that, like, we're talking about constantly because, we've seen something or watched something, like, oh yeah, that's a really really good point. So,
and there's also some kind of logistical things with, not logistical, but like channel growth things, like the video game stuff. Video games are obviously orders of magnitude more popular than
of course,
tabletop role-playing games, but there's a massive crossover.
Yes.
And so talking about video games in a way that is like a more of a higher level analysis, like we try to do with our content, will hopefully get video game people who are interested in TTRPGs finding our channel.
Exactly.
And so that'll be a good part of it. Movies as well. But beyond that, we've still got a shitload of stuff coming down the pipe for actual role-play RPG products we're working on too. So, we've got
that is not stopping, and that will never stop.
We are deep into Cults of Zahak right now, working on stuff. And after that, we are going to have the follow-up to the Shucked Oyster, which is Castle of the Bloodlord, which is going to be a regional adventure surrounding Mungo Borlov, the vampire, and his
which is going to be
marital problems.
Awesome.
It's going to be fucking awesome and hilarious and insane.
Yeah. If you like the oyster, if you like Ravenloft or Castlevania.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Shucked Oyster Ravenloft.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. And that's going to be fairly big in scope. Now, we're also, though, going to be working on some smaller projects. And this is something we literally started working on a couple of days ago. We'd had plans to do this for a while, but we're finally just like in the mode. I started working on a small dungeon for Shadowdark. It's a dungeon you can put in your game, and started working on that last night, and then today was Nick's first day back. We got in and we just opened the map, and I was like, I'm kind of had this idea, like whatever. And he looks at the map and he goes, oh, that looks like kind of like this, and like this looks kind of like this, and then I was like, yeah, and you know what, this room, we could do this. And then it started snowballing very, very quickly. Again. So like,
which is always what happens.
Yeah, which is always what happens. But we came up with this really funny gimmick. That's not even really a gimmick, but it's a very...
say vampires seem gay, but I would be a hypocrite given I like Starfinder, and I'm looking forward to the second edition of that.
I don't know what Starfinder is.
It's sci-fi Pathfinder.
Oh, yeah.
I've never played Starfinder. That's fair.
But it's very funny. So we're gonna try and release.
It's funny, but it
really
makes
good.
perfect sense.
It completely
and again,
does.
The funniest things are always taken completely
Super
seriously.
Yeah, if you take it seriously, it's funnier.
No irony.
Yeah, the idea is very serious, but but it's the same absurd style as the Shucked Oyster. It's that surrealist weirdness. So we're working on that, and that's going to be something that the local subscribers will get for free as soon as it goes up in PDF, and it'll be like a zine basically that we'll put up for like maybe $10 or something. And we want to make we're going to do those fairly regularly.
Yes.
And then I started thinking earlier today, I was like, maybe we could do like a campaign setting for like the Oysterverse, because this whole idea has expanded so much.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I think that would.
I think it would kill it.
Yeah, making it too
explicit
defined and too explicit. Yeah.
The whole point is that you get to just have the weirdness.
Who knows where this is?
Yeah. So that probably won't happen. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot more of these kind of surrealist dungeon experiences coming up. And
Yeah, and
It's-
a bunch of other stuff we've either talked about or hinted at before.
Yeah.
You know, a lot cooking.
Yeah, but the main kind of thing is there's probably going to be a shift in the channel. We'll see. It'll kind of depend on the success of these videos. Like if this God of War thing like really works, then we'll probably make an additional part to that, or like a follow up to that next.
And there's also like there are certain aspects of video games which really illustrate what a setting should be, what a world
Right.
should be in an RPG, which is very it can be very difficult to get at, right? Because in a role-playing game, there is no story, there is no plot, there are no characters who you are dictating beforehand what the choices, decisions, and consequences are. It's about discovering that. If you're the point of playing a character in a role-playing game is that it's to play your character and see how and what are the complications are of achieving your goals, being true or failing to live up to your own beliefs, ideals, all of these things which we've talked about many times. And there are certain games, like Morrowind is a great example.
Yeah.
Take out all of the quests or take out the main storyline, that world feels so vibrant
Right.
and so much more real than it actually is in the video game. And something like that is really what you want to emulate in a role-playing game. That's something where there are very strong parallels, where having the visuals and talking about Morrowind, let's say, or Stalker would really illustrate this really crucial point, both to video games, but also to role-playing games as well.
Yeah. Stalker is another one we are doing as well. We have plans for that. That was so weird. We'll do it again.
Oh,
my God. It's reacting to me doing thumbs up.
Eerie.
It's going to do it again. There
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Okay, that's what it is.
It's watching us.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Yeah, and we had talked about we had watched some Zoomer playing Morrowind.
always a mistake. Oh my God.
God, this was so
It was
bad.
so bad.
So bad.
Like way worse than what you are thinking in your mind.
Like can't figure out how to play it, and then once he sort of starts figuring things out, immediately
does what the main plot character tells him to do. And then after the main plot character tells him, you should explore the world, doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it's like you have to come back when you're a little stronger.
right.
Which he's like, okay, I guess I gotta
grind, or I
grind
guess I gotta
or something. Like it's like holy shit. And like they're at the end of this play, like because he gets back on the main quest and keeps going. There's like a small shot where you see his mini map, and there's just this straight corridor.
Yeah, to all of
From
the
Sedanine
quest nodes.
or whatever it is to straight up to
like
Balmora.
Sedanine to Balmora. I forget where he goes. He goes next, but he goes to Vivek City, like exactly where.
No, the Vivek thing was a different video and a different person.
You're right. Yeah.
It's literally there's just this straight little corridor of area that he's unfogged on the map,
Right.
which is like
You
holy
really don't
shit,
get it.
You
yeah.
really don't get this game. Like, how did you do that? And like, you didn't go get lost?
Yeah, which is the point.
The point of the fucking game? Like, you go get fucking lost. Go find things. Weird shit happens.
Now imagine that guy, again, doing what we're
He
talking
didn't
about.
even kill the fucking rats in Balmora in the basement. Like one of the very first quests you can get.
Yeah.
No idea that was even in the game.
Yep. Yeah, didn't go to the Mages Guild, the Fighters Guild, didn't talk to anyone in the Corner Club. He went immediately to Caius Casades because that's the name that the guy told me to go to.
Right.
And And I did what he said, like the game told me to. Imagine playing a role-playing game with this guy.
Yeah.
Like, these are the type of people. They just don't get it.
Yeah.
No
It's
imagination.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about more video games and stuff too, because like Stalker 2 was something that I was really looking forward to, and like after watching some videos of it, I was like, this doesn't look as good as Stalker 1.
Yeah. Maybe it will
It's
be.
got better graphics or whatever, but like
Sure.
there's all these first person cutscenes and it's doing all this shit. And I'm like, this is so, and the fucking A-Life AI system that like the world simulation is just not there. It's broken. And that's the thing that made Stalker compelling.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just download Stalker with all the mods again and play that. There's no reason to ever play Stalker 2.
Look up images of Starfinder 2 core ancestries, and they'll see they're very colorful and quirky.
I believe you. I believe you.
I don't have any. I'm sorry, man. I don't have any interest in playing Pathfinder in space, or
Yeah.
looking at. Pathfinder in space.
I've seen art from. I guess there's only one E right now in Starfinder. I know what the cover looks like. I've seen art from it. It's just not the game or the setting for me. But yeah. And to a similar point with regard to like themes, atmosphere, genre, which does translate to role-playing games, movies as well.
Yeah.
What do we got?
I'm thankful you guys taught me that vampire wasn't just D&D if you want to get laid, but it was that and Godfather blood cannoli. Yeah.
It's so much more.
Yeah. I like the World of Darkness werewolves as violent zealots. I know you do. Animal aspect, yeah. Assert dominance by having a 225 minimum bench for your players. That is a good way.
There you go.
That is a good way to do it. I think vampire is more interesting if you're trying to hold on to humanity. It is fun, but that's good.
Yeah.
You can't hold on to your humanity. The game is going to force you to lose it.
Right.
Here for the gaming. Oh,
Nice.
that's another thing. We are going to try streaming some video games as well. One of which will be
yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Yeah.
And we will do
And
a full review of that.
If Bloodlines 2 ever comes out, which I
we'll do
hope that
one
it
too.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think that it still might not. I'll bite the bullet and
Right.
get that terrible game. And we can all see how terrible it is.
The larger problem is that we live in a culture that is devoid of myth and symbolic meaning. Everything has become mechanistic and overanalyzed or superficial and trite. Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Animism and Werewolf the Apocalypse is interesting idea. The spirit world stuff was cool too, but not sure how well it would fit thematically. It's more of a product of its time than even Vampire.
It is an interesting
Yeah.
idea. It's just, first, it doesn't fit with the eco-terrorism thing, really, in my opinion. And the whole Umbra thing is, it's not well explained. And I don't mean that in that the magic of it should be stripped away. I don't even understand from my character's point of view what this is or what I think of it or how I think that it works. Maybe there's more details in there in some of the source books. I don't know. I don't care. And also, one of the coolest things about Vampire is that even though your character might believe otherwise, it is objectively true that God is real and that Cain is the first vampire.
Yeah.
You muddy the waters of the world of darkness by then having Gaia as also being objectively and I understand, and you shouldn't be mixing these things together, but it's like
Right.
you
All
had
the mythologies that are mutually exclusive are true simultaneously.
you should have, if you're taking that as the objective truth, it would have been so much more interesting to continue with that objective truth and then
Do a werewolf.
do werewolf
Do
and do
mage.
mage. You
Yeah.
know, it's like you can't have like Platonism, I
Yeah.
guess, and Gaia worship and God and fairy and like
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It undermines itself.
Yeah.
It makes the whole world more retarded with every game line.
Mr. Max has a good comment here. People talk about video games and only talk about the graphics and story. Excuse me, I thought those were supposed to be games. It should be about gameplay. This is another reason that we're talking about this God of War game. Because it's a 92-hour cutscene, basically. You get this. I don't want to spoil too much about the video, but it's like the new God of War games are meant to make you feel bad about having liked the original God of War games.
Yeah, it's like Joker 2.
Yeah. It
You
is. It is the Joker 2 of video games, and it's the reason that you want to play as Kratos is so that you can be the God of War and beat the fuck out of all these monsters and
The
huge,
gods 100% had it coming. That's pretty clear in God of War 1 through 3.
But the thing is, the game part of it is you being the God of War, killing and smashing things.
Yes.
That's why you want to play the new God of War, is to do that. But you keep being punished for it. You're punished for it in the story itself, which is explicitly about everything you're doing is bad. Stop doing it.
Right.
You know, go against your nature, castrate yourself,
Yes.
be nice, and don't be the God of War anymore. But then when you play it, you do the God of War thing. You beat the fuck out of everything. And then it punishes you. You don't win by like, now there's a tiny little cutscene and we go to the next level and we get to play it again. It's that you get stopped in your tracks by like unskippable cutscenes.
Yeah, like mid-combat cutscenes.
Mid-combat cutscenes, post-combat cutscenes. You have vast areas where you're just walking around so it can obscure loading screens, basically. It's a fucking Sartre play punishment. Like, this is hell. Like, this is hell. Is this fucking video game. And you don't, and not only did they changed the camera system, whatever. That doesn't really bother me. It's a new game, new generation of consoles. You can take it in a new direction, inject some new life into it. But they just fucking punish you for actually wanting to play the game part of the game. And it's horrible. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And Max is 100% right. People only talk about, and the thing is, I like ultra realistic graphics. I love I always want technology being pushed as far as it can. That doesn't mean anything if your game is fucking boring. Here's an example: Control by Remedy. Beautiful game. It's so fucking boring. My friend Jay warned me about this, but I was like, no, I got my new, I got my 3070. I'm going to crank up the ray tracing and it's going to be awesome. And I played it for about 2 hours and I was like, he was right. This game fucking sucks. It's gorgeous, but it's boring as shit. It's barely a game. Anyway.
I haven't played it. You told me not to get it because I was debating
don't get
replaying Alan Wake and then playing Control.
You mean Alan Woke? Does Destiny plug into classic BattleTech well, or is it more abstract? Oh, this is the BattleTech role-playing game that Spencer told us about.
Slitterhead Gamma play first, Divine's the thing.
What's it say? Slitterhead equals gameplay first, Divine versus the Thing.
I don't know what Slitterhead is.
I don't know what Slitterhead is. We'll have to look that up. But where was that comment? Talking about... so there is a BattleTech RPG, and it fully integrates with BattleTech itself.
Yeah.
And apparently people hated it.
Oh, man.
Video games are bigger than movies now. No, AAA video games became movies. That's true. Yeah.
Became bad movies.
Bad movies, which is another aspect of that we're talking about this.
Yep.
It's the most cinematic movie ever, blah, blah, blah. There's no fucking cinematography. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Movies are not a single shot with a fucking guy with an Arri Alexa on his shoulder just following around three characters on a totally flat, like, soundstage motion capture thing. It's terrible. These people are trying to ape cinema once again, and they're doing it so badly.
Right.
It's so fucking bad. Primeval Fantasies here.
What's happening, man?
Oyster Loft.
Yeah, man.
Waiting for Castle of the Bloodlord to be a proper West Marches style werewolf game. Yeah.
Yep. You heard it here first.
You heard it here. You're hearing what we're saying. If you ever want to discuss film or video games with a guest, I'd be game. Not to invite myself, but would totally do that.
Yeah.
I'm the former managing editor of Game Fan magazine, and I've worked in film. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we might do that.
Yeah, man.
I could see VTM done like Ichi the Killer, with a mafia connection in mind. Maybe, but Ichi the Killer also had the guy just like jerking off like
One
crazy.
of my favorite parts of Elder Scrolls as a whole is that they do speciesism super well. More games need to be that real and expressive.
Yeah, and it's not
Well,
done
they haven't done it well for a
Since
long
Morrowind?
time now,
Yeah.
since Morrowind.
Enwa.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like you get The Witcher, which is over and over again like, it turns out that the monster is not actually a monster.
Yeah,
It's
what am I
people
doing?
are the real
I'm
monsters.
hunting
They're just racist against the monster.
Yeah. Like, jeez, dude.
Yeah, it was interesting the first time in 2007.
Which is so so ludicrous because no, there are monsters everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, literal monsters. Yeah. Like for as much as everybody says in that game, how like witchers are kind of obsolete and rarer. Like there are a lot of fucking monsters all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Here's an interesting one. What advantages does Shadowdark have over other fantasy settings? My players and I enjoy Axe, so what does Shadowdark offer? So if your players are enjoying Axe, I would not suggest switching to Shadowdark because it's on the extreme opposite end of the spectrum in terms of like the rules complexity.
You get a very different experience.
That's very, very different experience. It's just very, very focused on dungeon crawling. And
it's not so much a setting thing as it is a...
Yeah, it has an implied kind of like grimdark OSRE style of setting, but it doesn't really have that. It's the book is just a rule book.
Right.
And Acts 1 really didn't have too much of the implied setting either. It talks about the Oran Empire a little bit, but Acts 2 is where the Oran Empire thing is really, really in it. So I would say if you guys are enjoying Acts, you're not going to get much out of Shadowdark.
It's more a matter of scope
and taste. Yeah.
If you just want to do dungeon delves, well, if you're playing with Axe and already enjoying it, I would say stick with it. And you don't, if you don't want to do any of the domain stuff, you don't have to, per se. But Shadowdark really wants to put over in more modern and accessible like mechanics that like more older D&D dungeon crawl loop. So whichever of those you want to do.
If you were to have introduced normies to D&D and didn't want to like be like, hey, let's play.
Shadowdark is great for that.
Yeah, let's play this game that's 1,500 pages. They were like, hey, let's play this little book I have called Shadowdark. It's like you could make characters and get a game of Shadowdark going in like 30 minutes. It's very simple. It has a ton of zero prep tools in it. It's really good for that more limited scope thing. And for people who have maybe never played and aren't ready to commit to something like Axe.
Yeah.
So you probably won't offer much to you, I don't think, to be honest, if you're enjoying Axe already. Looking forward to the Broken Empires. Trevor is mixing the best of Mythras, Forbidden Lands, One Ring, and Hardmaster into the Sim Light game.
Yep. We're
We
looking
are
forward to it too.
big fans of Trevor
Yep.
and very much looking forward to this. And I just watched his. I had to catch the replay on the
His latest
live stream where he was
I haven't
talking
watched
about.
it. I haven't had time yet since flying back.
So he was talking about how basically they're at the stage where most of the major things are in place and done, and they're paring back the kind of the things that are now like a little extraneous, which is good.
Gotcha.
And he said that they simplified it down to like you can do one combat maneuver and a combat exchange.
Okay.
Which was actually a concern that I had, because when he went over the character sheet a couple of months ago and he was talking about like weapons, like, you know, having different costs for success levels on combat maneuvers and all this other stuff. I was like, this does not seem less complicated than Mythras.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, but it seems like they're getting to the point where they're making it a little more light. I am very excited for that game.
Yeah. Same.
Look up Mechton Zeta. Yep, that is the R. Talsorian Games mech game. Didn't come out until the 2.0 reboot. Gamers Republic had come and gone by then. Okay. Someone eating.
Morrowind and Veeam were good because they had a density to encounter shooks that made the world feel real. Oyster makes a whole town feel the same way.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, we
High
appreciate
praise.
that. And again, if you guys are just joining us right now midstream, if you're here, as you can see, the Shucked Oyster, many copies behind us. There's one even behind my giant dome. If you go to the link in the description, it is on DriveThruRPG. So if you missed it in the Kickstarter, you can get it now. But if you didn't miss it in the Kickstarter and you did get it in the Kickstarter, we would love it if you guys could go write us a review on DriveThru, because it'll just massively, massively help us out. Like I said, we had a couple of like sort of tongue-in-cheek, silly reviews. Those are fine, but we want, you know, like we want some serious reviews on there too, which we do have, which is good. So please and thank you for doing that. We would love it if you guys. It would be just a huge, huge help to us if you could do that.
Yes.
Hold on.
Where are we?
If you haven't played Fear and Hunger 1 through 2, it is edgy, but the series deals with human beings terrifying because they systematize and try to become gods. Fear and
Interesting.
Hunger. I've never even heard of that. Yeah.
Don't know.
Is it a video game or a role-playing game?
My guess is it's a video game. I don't think there are many RPG book 2.
Right. Yeah. Things are sometimes funnier the more they're taken seriously. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Until you can no longer take it seriously. Yeah. Does Shadow Dark have a default setting? It has an implied setting. Kelsey is doing another Kickstarter, though, in March. I believe it's March 11th for additional Cursed Scroll zines. And I think that there's talk of they're trying to like potentially wrap this into a coherent campaign setting for Shadow Dark. I'm not sure if that's happening. But it has more, it's really more of an implied setting thing, and the Cursed Scroll zines are expansions to that kind of give you little defined areas. Surrealist Dungeon is the best dungeon.
Yep.
Exactly.
Damn
we do
right.
love Dundermoose. And since Bacon, already put his thoughts out there. If you ever want to have us on your show, man, we will come talk to you. I don't know what about, but we do enjoy. We are Dundermoose stans. So
Indeed.
yeah, we would be happy to talk to you. That's why I was asking. I've heard talk about it, but it's hard to get my players to try new systems. So I want to know what it does that it can't achieve with Axe. There is
The only thing that Axe can't achieve is just a purposeful commitment to a very limited
narrow,
scope.
Limited scope, yeah.
You know, which is fine, but it's really.
If you just want to try Shadow Dark with your players,
It's very easy
It's
to
very
do.
easy. There's a very, very low buy-in.
Yeah, run a one-shot of it.
Run a one-shot. Like that would be easy to do. And I think a very easy sell. But Axe, by it's just the nature of the game, achieves way more because it has much, much larger scope and allows you to do way, way more things. Like there is no domain play in
Shadow Dark.
at all.
Right.
Because it's just not what the game is about.
Which is fine in Shadow Dark because that's not
Right.
part of the vision.
Right.
Right.
Excuse me. I feel bad that the Shucked Oyster came out at the same time as Brozer. If Brozer had been delayed, you could have come in second place for the Golden Scooty. No. We stop the steal. I demand a recount. Count the dimpled chads. All right. We were robbed.
Scudder for Mike had a
did the
a very
Scuddy Awards,
amusing award show on his channel.
Yeah. Where we were robbed of the award. But we will be referring to it as the Scuddy nominated Shucked Oyster.
Yeah.
I prefer the crunch and depth of Acts 2. You can take out what you want. Take out what you don't want rules wise. Yeah. You have to turn off that thumbs up emoji in each video enabled program.
Jeez.
That is crazy. I don't play video games. I don't really play very many video games.
Well,
either
there are
anymore,
so few which are good,
which are worth playing.
that are worth playing. I've been replaying. I've been playing Path of Exile 2, which I love. But I don't know exactly how to couch this yet, where it isn't just sort of a critique. But I'm replaying the first Mass Effect, and I feel like there's something interesting from a world building perspective, which I know has some relevance to tabletop RPGs. I haven't fully articulated the connection yet, but might have more to say on that later.
Spelljammer? I'm not a fan.
What is this?
Somebody's just asking about Spelljammer.
Well, I was very generously gifted by Spencer,
Right.
Spelljammer, and I've been looking through it, and it is wild how bananas certain aspects of the scope are, and how surprisingly, shockingly limited in creativity certain others are. It's very fun. I am not interested at all with the like ship to ship combat stuff at all, but some of it seems interesting. I'm curious to learn more. I got Spelljammer and I think 2 source books. So I'm going through it. I might have more to say about Spelljammer in a couple of months.
Max saying, I agree with Nick. Werewolves as soldiers of Christ would have been much cooler. Talking about unifying everything under the same mythology, which actually would have been much cooler.
That would have been way cooler. And maybe I would have liked vampires more, or werewolves more than I do right now.
It's like having a campaign setting with both Greek and Roman gods, and Egyptian gods, and Norse gods, and Chinese gods.
You know what they should have done? This is exactly what they should have done. Werewolves, and this is how you could have had werewolves being more good guys, or maybe they could be fallen, but they should have been either righteous or fallen followers of Saint Christopher, the dog-headed saint of Christ.
Yeah.
That would have been.
That's what he just said.
That would have been way cooler.
They could have been linked to Saint
there you go. I
Christopher.
didn't even see that. Yeah.
It's been on screen the entire time.
Great minds.
Someone had mid-combat struggle sessions referring to God of War.
Yeah. Mid-combat, out of combat.
Yeah. This game sounds like it violates the Geneva Convention. Play a real game like Eve or Dwarf Fortress or StarCraft.
No.
I will not play Dwarf Fortress. That'd be pretty cool. An order of the Vatican that utilizes ancient weaponized lichens versus the vampires.
That would have been cooler.
Yeah. One of the saints was a dog man.
Yep. St. Christopher.
Mountain Blade Warband. Oh, he's responding to someone else. Slitterhead is by the director of Silent Hill, and you possess people to kill monsters. Interesting.
Oh, okay. PS2 era games were great.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
People don't respect the strength of their medium. RPGs are not about roleplay. Video games are not about gameplay, and movies don't tell a story anymore. 100% true. 100% true. I've worked on film, games, and Chinese cartoons. I did a film and video games, never did anime. Naughty Dog are the worst. Yeah. Neil Druckmann obviously wants to do films and got stuck in a game. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be it's too late for him to have gotten like a film deal. I think like it's
Well, his games are being made into movies.
Are made into
shows now.
TV shows.
Yeah. Which is better for them.
Yeah.
Oh
God.
Chat jumping in.
I think we were further up than this.
Only by a tiny bit.
Oh. Okay.
So skipped all that shit. I wonder if Kelsey has played Darkest Dungeon yet.
I assume so.
As of like maybe 6 or 8 months ago, I think on a stream, she said that she still hasn't played it. She's like,
I know that she said she didn't know about it when she was
doing
creating
it and has seen
Shadow
it
Dark.
since then, but I don't think has played it. I've been running Shadow Dark for some new players, and they keep wanting more complexity. I want to introduce them to a proper simulation game like Hackmaster 5e, Axe, or Mythras.
I can't speak to Hackmaster, but
Axe
or Mythras are great.
Yeah.
You know,
if they want to do more in the D&D style of game, Axe is going to be the easier transition than Mythras.
Yeah.
And it's going to allow them to do more things. Mythras is more limited in scope than Axe is as well.
Yeah, Mythras is more
it's different
inwardly focused than externally focused.
It's a more character focused game.
Yeah.
More so than the world. Mm-hmm. God damn it, that stupid thumbs up. I like Shadow Dark, but it's a lot better for a single session or a few sessions, in my opinion.
I would agree, largely.
I would largely agree. Like it doesn't seem like it has the same sort of longevity that a lot of other systems would have. But on the flip side of that, there's people who have been playing Shadow Dark a lot and for long times that have said that like it does work for long-term campaigns. I think it just depends on the group, because that was something like Tora said when he was testing out the Shucked Oyster. Like he was coming into these kind of walls of like wanting more mechanics and some systems and things like that Shadow Dark lacked. Basic Expert was robbed as well. That's true, but Trill is a good YouTuber.
That's true. Great new channel.
Is domain play more or less obligatory in Axe, or does the game work well as an adventuring game, even at higher levels? I'm not sure my players would be so interested in domain play. We're not there yet. I don't know. Our campaign has also been weird because we've kind of speedrun certain aspects of the progression.
My feeling is you could continue to do the adventuring thing. The thing is, it's going to take a lot longer to level because
the kinds of experience that you need to level after a while in terms of gold is enormous, and you're going to get a lot more of that through conquest than you are.
Right.
But the thing is, the domain play doesn't. McGrease is good at this. All of these times where it has this big list of like, here's the steps, here's the procedures of what you do for this, like a domain turn. He's like, you don't have to use all of this. You don't have to go through every single thing if you don't want to. It's like, it's there for the level of complexity that you want in your game. And for having a rule for, we want to do this, but we don't want to hand wave it, you can look it up and it'll be there. So I don't think that the domain play stuff has to be super, super dominant where all it does is it's just abstracted to a hex map entirely and blah, blah, blah. Like there's a lot you can do. And you can get a lot of mileage out of adventuring in Axe as well.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Also, please send your energy to me. Taking an organic chem exam in a few days.
God.
You have our high energy.
Yeah.
You will pass that test.
Thank God I'm not in school.
Yeah, fuck school. I'm never going back. Never could. I only really play VR games now. Skyrim VR changed my life. I
never played a VR game.
I had a VR headset briefly. and it was really cool, and there was some things in it that were awesome, but it always felt so fucking dystopian wearing that thing. And then like I'd take it off and you're in like a completely different orientation from the room when you started, and I was like, I don't like this. So like I got rid of it. Mass Effect 1 was so much better than 2. We have an agreeer here.
Oh,
He's agreeing with you. I'm saying he's an agreeer of you liked Mass Effect 1 better than 2, didn't you?
well, I actually haven't played any of the Mass Effect games since Mass Effect 3, which I did not.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about the ending. Not good. But my recollection is preferring 2 way more to 1. I still liked 1. But I know back then I was much more focused on just the characters, and I think because you basically have certainly all of the Mass Effect 1 characters, except for the one you kill, which is obviously Kaidan Alenko. Everybody kills him, and rightfully so. Show up in Mass Effect 2, but I'm paying more attention to the world building in 1 this time around. I still have not gone to Pharos or Noveria because I'm doing all the side stuff, which is dumb, but I will be playing 2. I will get back with my thoughts.
Grognard is playing the old
hell
PC
yeah.
game Rune, which is a lot of fun from what I remember. And I was reminded of it when we were at LongCon, because we found amongst the RPGs, used RPG boxes there, the Rune role-playing game, which was based off of the video game, which I did not buy. But Rune is a fun game.
Yeah. There's some very fun things.
But we got...
I got something we can't share.
Slime88 is saying here, sort of unrelated, but maybe good now that you guys want to branch out. What do you think about pop culture settings?
Pop culture settings in terms of like a franchise, or in terms of like trying to do like a kind of cyberpunk thing with like modern,
Or are you
Except,
talking
like-
about like X-Men in an RPG?
yeah,
I'm
so
not
be like,
sure.
like a franchise, like a brand.
Can you clarify your question, because we don't understand? You have to remember, we don't have very high IQ.
Thank God.
Yeah. Ubisoft Montreal has to be as woke as Naughty Dog. Ubisoft, I don't think is going to be long for this world.
Yeah, it's
They're not doing well financially.
yep.
I would think that domain play would probably become organic. Like at some point, it just makes sense for your characters to start establishing their own base, and there are challenges that come with it. Yeah.
Well, but this is the thing, because you could also say, that would also and should also be the case in any kind of D&D game. You're achieving certain amounts of power, a certain degree of wealth, but it doesn't occur to most people. Now, the rules are also not there, really, certainly in modern iterations of D&D or in Pathfinder, or any games in that vein. The fact that Acts 2 has the rules and is explicitly, it's in the name, Adventurer, Conqueror, King, to do this, it does make it clear this is sort of what you should be doing.
Yeah.
But you have to make, because if you're getting people who are coming from 5e, right, my guess is it will not even occur to them to take the horse blinders off and realize that is an option, right? But yes, you're completely right. If all that is clear in your mind's eye, it will be organic, and that's what Axe, I think, tries to make happen.
Yeah, so playing RPGs in settings from pop culture, from the developed like Middle-earth to the less developed ones.
Okay, so we're talking about
Playing RPGs.
franchises.
Yeah, like licensed properties.
Yeah, you can do that. There are certain franchises that obviously fit into certain genres, and so not all game systems will will simulate that well, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to do X-Men, I would not recommend going with D&D,
Yeah.
you know, or Mythras
Yeah.
or Axe, you know. Yeah, you can. I have more to say about this. I just don't have it at hand because
Yeah.
I've mentioned this with regard to Middle-earth in particular before, where there's
You shouldn't roleplay there.
you shouldn't roleplay there.
Yeah.
And even a different franchise, let's say, or a beloved property, or book, story, movie, what have you, there are certain sort of, if it's actually good, there are particular themes which I think you really need to at least be aware of if you're going to play in that world, right? Because it's not, it may be that the John Wick universe is cool, or X-Men is cool. Let me just make a new wacky character with these superpowers. I'm choosing from a list. I think that cheapens whatever value that world possesses. I have to think about it more. This might be a video topic, like playing in an established.
Someone
there's someone
subscribed.
subbed. Yeah, playing in a pop culture setting.
On the topic of video games, how do you guys feel about mud games?
I was not in that world.
I played a Wheel of Time mud way long time ago, and I liked it, but that's as far as I got. Victor Gorchev was big into muds. Solane, from what I've seen, the One Ring 2E does a really good job of opening up a space for roleplay, although it may not offer the same levels of flexibility as something like Axe. I don't think Axe would be a good setting for
Middle-earth.
a good rule set for Middle-earth.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't usually like playing in the settings from established fiction, and especially movies. They come with too much baggage to do them right, and if not done right, they lose all verisimilitude.
This is a danger,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I agree completely.
You can play franchise games a couple of ways. One, playing as the characters in a game, or two, play as new characters taking up the roles of the characters from the setting.
Which I think is better, because if you're playing the characters, you should just read the book or watch the movie.
Right.
Because the only thing you can do is sort of sully the character. So we know what the characters would do.
Right. And we're going to be talking about this as we go through the Dragonlance modules as well.
Yes.
Because we have DL1, and it's not as railroady as people has made it out to seem.
Yes.
But we're pretty sure you probably can't take it in isolation. It definitely has pressure and like moving you, and it
but
wants you to
I
do
don't.
this,
we'll
but
talk more about it.
we'll
But I
talk
think
more about it
the
later
pressure
when we-
is not arbitrary. This is
Right.
this is a thing that is happening,
yeah.
and if it was happening in the real world, you also would be forced
Right.
to react one way or another.
Right. Cosmere RPG is the same as Middle-earth for me. After reading all the books, it doesn't feel like it should be able to make an impact without fraying the world. Yeah.
I think this is the Brandon Sanderson
Yeah.
thing. I've only read the first Mistborn book. I haven't read anything else by him.
For example, if I were to run a Star Wars game, I would start from the end of Return of the Jedi and create my own canon.
Yeah, I mean that's that's a way to do it. I mean, the thing with Star Wars also is it's an entire galaxy. It's a very broad world. There are certain themes and there are certain forces which exist and certain powers which exist, which you can do world building sort of in isolation, taking all of the implications thematics wise and sort of world building wise, and I think pretty safely do something in that universe. But
You can't.
yeah, don't go to Tatooine again.
You can't radically alter the structure of Middle Earth through player actions. I think that's...
I mean, the thematic structure, for sure. There are also just certain... The world of Middle Earth is, like, draped in a kind of mythic sort of personality type, like a... like, again, with, like, axe. Like,
Right.
there are no conquerors. The only conquerors are the forces of Mordor, right? There's no sword and sorcery conquering hero type. That's just not...
Yeah.
That actually would not be, like, a believable perspective for a human being to have in that world. Now, of course, there are human beings, right? But you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it wouldn't work, you know?
McCree says he ran Axe in Middle Earth. Apparently it went fine until it fell apart for out of character reasons.
I mean, it's possible. And,
It's possible, but
you know,
I think that, like, if you're reducing... I'm not saying reducing, because it's like, it's just that, like, okay, Adventurer Conqueror King, you have...
the politics also do not matter at all, and to focus on it is...
Yeah, and the politics and the resource management of, like, scaling up armies and moving them around, it's like, that is not what Middle Earth is about.
Right.
You know, like, you can do that, but what that becomes, and this is very cool, is that the politics of war in Adventurer Conqueror King becomes a lot about resource management. Because it's like, can I even achieve fielding an army and doing this stuff and blah, 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 blah. That's really not what the War of the Ring was presented as. It's not what... Like, I don't
That's not
view
what the substance of the world
don't
is.
view the Middle Earth as something that can be run in a simulationist manner.
Right. It's just, and I'm not, this is not what Macrease is doing, but the danger is to have the midwit George R.R. Martin take, where it's like, yeah, Aragorn is cool, but what about his the tax code of Gondor? It's like the meme response. It's like, you don't get it at all.
Yeah.
Like, the tax code and resource management, that is cool. It doesn't...
Like, I don't know
there would be something perverse, I think, to...
Yeah, it's like, I don't understand.
To injecting that into the world.
The idea of, like, our resource management being applied to, like, Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
Doesn't really jive with
How many
me.
Peasant families, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's the morale of the domain, you know, and the peasant families and all this. It doesn't... Something doesn't feel right there to me.
It's like there's too much of, like, an active living mythos, and there's an aspect, there's an energy of the sacred in Lord of the Rings that would have to give way if you
I stabbed Frodo. Can I loot the body? Yes, you find an ordinary gold ring.
I stabbed you.
I throw it out. I actually think that Middle Earth would be among the better settings for that, because it has enough scope and space and time for your players to fill.
You're right. I mean, it's a big world. It's like, we can assume all those things are taking place, but it's the spirit of the world would be sullied, I think.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not just that, yes, there are these kingdoms, and Middle Earth is X many square miles wide. Right. With this much arable land. It's like, yep, all those things are like, it's like, what's the gravity in Middle Earth? You know, I guess it's Earth-like, but, you know, it...
One Ring 2E does it well. It takes place in a time before the movies, so the main characters are not prominent, and there's much of the world that you can explore, but yes, you can't change the future. You know. One Ring RPG sidesteps all of that crunchy simulationism while focusing on being heroic. Not sure why this is turning into an advert.
That must be a good game.
People have said the One Ring is great. Like, Trevor recommends it, really likes it. Basic Expert really likes it.
Yeah.
And that's a more
Although
narrative.
Trevor's only played 1E, the One Ring First Edition.
Oh, he hasn't played 2E.
No, I think he said in a live stream, someone asked him, he hasn't played Second Edition yet.
Interesting.
But it's only a couple of years old.
Middle-earth roleplay does a good job of allowing you to play in the setting without having to be Frodo or Gimli or adventure with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle-earth is a mythic setting, not a quantifiable, systematized world.
Yes.
And you can, I think you can have mythic settings and do a systematized
Right.
simulationist thing with them. Something just feels wrong about doing that with Middle-earth, though.
Yeah, because it's almost like aggressively choosing not to imbibe the spirit of what Middle-earth is and what Lord of the Rings is, what it's really trying to convey, what's really resonant about it.
Right. Well, we got the most important comment of the night. I believe we will reunify the Catholic and Orthodox churches in my lifetime. Something big is coming, brother. All right. Narnia
That would
is
be
good.
wild.
One of the pitfalls is making the players or allowing them to go meet up with the story characters and them murdering them.
Well, that's just the worst kind of,
here's a bigger pitfall for Middle-earth. In the Oran Empire, the Zaharans could return. You could have big orc armies. The Skysos could invade. You could create your own empire within it, break everything apart. And that's the way the world works. Mm-hmm. And that's a possibility, and that's a real thing. In Middle-earth, that is not a possibility. Because, and I don't know the god's name or whatever.
Iluvatar?
Whatever.
Yeah. The god in Middle-earth
basically will not allow the world to be consumed by chaos.
Right. That's part of the metaphysics.
That's part of the metaphysics of the world. So
right.
It's like even Melkor, was his acts of evil were only in service of some sort of meta good.
Correct. Right.
Like it doesn't seem right for me. The reason the simulationist aspect of it doesn't work here is because you have this kind of metaphysical hierarchy, this thing where it's like, it doesn't actually work that way.
The metaphysics are more important than the physics.
Right. Than the physics, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, I think we're pretty much done for the night. It's almost 10:30 here
Indeed.
where we are. So I thank you all for joining us. And again, once again, if you backed the Shucked Oyster, please go to DriveThruRPG and write us a review. It will help us out enormously, bigly, if you will, and we'd really, really appreciate that. And we hope to see you guys very, very soon. We got a lot of content
May
coming.
the new year bring great things and zeros.
Thank you.
Thank you, Biden.
Yes. We all hope for that.
Great things. Yeah. You repeat yourself, though.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, have a good night, everybody.
All right, boys. Take it easy.
We'll talk to you soon.